Alright, boys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about how I scaled a model to 100k a month. First of all, I'm a bit sick, so if I sound a bit weird, sorry. But yeah, so this is obviously a model that I've had for a few months. It's not like I got her to 100k a month in the first month, obviously not. Um, but we did scale her pretty quickly. Like a lot of models, they start to slow down once we reach like 20k, maybe 30k, around that. But this one, her revenue just kept going up like every single month, like almost doubling each month. Obviously, not every single month it doubled completely, but most months it went up by at least like 50%, I'd say. Um, so yeah, so obviously this is not like a complete beginner video. I'm not going to be talking about like outreaching or onboarding stuff like that. Because if you're at the stage where you're trying to scale to 100k a month, you should already know those things. But anyway, um, this here, picking right niches, testing and scaling what works. This is sort of like the formula that I feel like it's very obvious when I say this, but many people don't really talk about it because this is literally the steps to kind of just copy and paste on every single model that you want to scale. Like put in basic steps, right? Picking the right niche and then testing. So what we do, or what I mean by this, is before we start marketing, or when we are, even if we are, already down the line marketing a lot, just because you're making 10k a month doesn't mean you should only stick to the same thing. That's what a lot of people do. They'll do Reddit, do IG, do TikTok, but they'll just keep posting the exact same thing or keep doing the exact same thing. And then it's at a point where, like, you might range from 10 to 20k a month, but you probably won't really do much better unless you're scaling with a lot more accounts. But what I like to do now, or what I make sure I always do, is once we're at a stage where, let's say we've got 5 Reddit accounts, 10 IG accounts, a few TikTok accounts, and they're doing well, other than just scaling those niches and with more accounts, like, if 5 of those Reddit accounts are, let's say, um, like emo niches, um, other than just scaling with those niches with more accounts, which is also fine, we also like to test more subreddits. Sorry, more niches. I don't know how to subreddits. We like to test more niches. So pretty much, let's say, like I said, we're doing emo and ego, basic niches sort of. We'll then also start to try to do other things like more body niches, like ass, feet, stuff like that. And we'll pick like another few more niches that we test out. And then whichever ones work good on top of the ones that were working good before, then we'll scale those as well. And it's just sort of like a rinse and repeat type of thing we do, where we'll find good niches, we'll scale them, then we'll find another like more niches again, scale them, and just keep finding more niches because a lot of people, like I said, they'll stick to the same, you know, 1 or 2 niches that they have that do well, which obviously is fine. Like I said, if you're scaling and you have 5 accounts that you scale to 20 accounts, obviously you're gonna make more, even if it's the same niche. But just because one niche is doing good doesn't mean other niches can't do good. So I think it's very important to, no matter what stage you're at, always try out different things to see how it performs for that model. And yeah, like I said, at the end, scaling what works. Um, but yeah, so more for the marketing side of like what we do for this model, um, and kind of the funnels and stuff. So the main things we do is TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. Obviously, we do like Twitter as well, but we don't really have like a big scale for this model. Um, so first of all, I'll start with Flash New Trend on TikTok and IG. Um, this is this is one of the most simplest things you can be doing right now on IG. I won't go too in depth into this, as I mentioned, it's a lot more in my private group, but there's a lot of like Flash New Trends, which if you've been doing OFM, you probably have heard of this. If you haven't, it's basically where you show nudity for like a very split second, um, so that the algorithm doesn't really catch it and can't ban you. Obviously, bans do happen. It's not like they don't happen, but because you're doing it for a split second, the algorithm doesn't always catch it, and by the time you actually do, you might get banned. You will get a lot of views, stuff like that. So, yeah, like literally, so many people that I know have started this because I told them to start it, and then they start getting literally hundreds of thousands of views like in the same week. It's really good. It's one of the easiest ways right now to go viral, in my opinion. Um, and yeah, Obviously, we do the same for IG and for TikTok. Obviously, on TikTok, you have to make it less explicit because TikTok's algorithm is more strict than IG's. Um, but overall, it's the same concepts, right? And this can literally go for any niche. So this is not really like a niche specific thing or like the look specific thing. Literally any girl can obviously show nudity, so it is really good. And yeah, that's sort of the main thing we focus on right now. Obviously, you like usually we would focus more on like certain niches for reels and stuff, but this is working so good right now that it's like there's sort of no point in not doing it until it stops working. Um, but yeah, so TikTok lives, pretty much what we do on TikTok lives at the moment is well, first of all, the main thing is that's important for TikTok lives is to be creative and figure out like what could make you go viral on a live. Obviously like copying other girls what they do can work, but a lot of the time, um, just copying won't work. Like you have to try to be creative and do something that's not worked before. A few things I've seen do well recently. One is just laying on the floor, showing your like body a little bit. Obviously, like I said on TikTok, you can't be too explicit and like literally be naked basically. But just laying on the floor, showing your body a little bit, and then basically doing things for like just talking to the chat, and then every like goal for likes you make, you spin like a wheel, and then you do something like 5 push-ups, 5 star jumps, just basic stuff like that that aren't too sexual because, like I said, TikTok is explicit. If you were to do stuff like twerking stuff like that, obviously you could easily get banned or just banned from being live. But yeah, so like for example, you can say, guys, at 10k likes, I'll spin the wheel again. At 20k likes, blah blah. And just talking to the live, just literally started talking to the live. Obviously, every now and then you can promote your IG. You can't say Instagram, but if you say like, go to my profile, you can go to my other page there, stuff like that, then you are allowed to say stuff like that. They won't really catch on to it. Another thing that works is literally just laying on your bed, showing your feet a little bit like from behind. Like obviously you're pointing to the camera, talking to the chat once again, but then just from behind you can see the model's feet, and she's just talking to the chat. That's another one that works at the moment. But like I said, you have to be creative, try to do things that other models aren't doing that could go viral. And after a few lives, usually what happens is the first few lives on the account don't do too good, and then like out of nowhere, like the third one, or the fourth one, the fifth one will just do a lot better. That's the way we've experienced it a lot. Obviously, sometimes the first one can do really good if you've got a really good idea, but a lot of time, just because TikTok's algorithm likes people that are consistent, they don't push people out as much in like the first 2 lives, and then after that they start pushing people out. But yeah, that's literally all we do. And then obviously the funnel, once we get them to IG, what we like to do quite a lot is once we end the TikTok live, we ask them all to go live on IG as well. And then once she's live on IG, she'll be like obviously a lot more sexual because obviously IG allows that. And then she'll just say like, guys, I'm gonna go live on OF, or guys, my OF is free or on Discord right now. Go subscribe. I'll reply to you. I'll message you, whatever. Um, and that's a really good funnel for TikTok lives. Obviously, a lot of people are gonna want to subscribe and talk to her then if they're seeing that she's on a live saying go talk to me there. And yeah, now for Reddit, what we do for Reddit, obviously first of all we do Reddit on mobile now. Um, doing it on mobile is the best way at the moment. If you're doing it on the web still, chances are, unless you've got a really good method, you're getting banned all the time, or shadow banned at least. All of that stuff. It's way better to be doing it on mobile. You know, we even have some accounts that like we run ourselves sometimes. Like we don't even use a proxy. Like we just use our Wi-Fi, um, and it still works fine. Like being on mobile itself makes the whole account way more secure than on web. Um, but yeah, for Reddit, it's all the same thing that I said here. Like we, let's say we start with like 5 accounts or 3 accounts. We'll pick 3 to 5 like body niches for that. Like let's say one for boobs, one for ass, one for feet, one like non like a SFW account, one like an NSFW account, for example, and then whichever ones work the best, we'll scale that, and then we'll test out more niches as well after we've scaled the good ones already. And it's just, it's just a repeat process type of thing. Like I was saying, we just keep finding new niches and then scaling them until, usually we try to get to at least like 15 accounts per model on Reddit. But obviously, the more the better. That's what we do. And like I said, on mobile is very simple at the moment. We literally do a 2-day warm up. And that 2-day warm up literally consists of just scrolling, like 1 or 2 upvotes, 1 or 2 comments. And that's literally it. And then after the 2 days, we start posting. We post once a day and we up it by 1 each day until it's at 20. Once it's at 20, we just stay at 20. And yeah, it's literally, it's very simple. Like if you live in the UK or US, you can literally just use mobile data. I wouldn't really recommend using Wi-Fi. Even though, like I said, we did, I wouldn't recommend it. Like using mobile data is fine. If you don't live in the UK or US, you can obviously use a proxy. Or like once you want to do multiple accounts, you can do a proxy as well. But yeah, like overall, it's a very simple process. And we just do red GIFs as well. So obviously, foes can do good as well. But red GIF, not only that red GIF, obviously GIFs perform better on Reddit when it's a red GIF, but also red GIF itself can get you views. Like red GIFs has like a shorts or like a reels tab now, where people can actually scroll on red GIFs just looking at girls. So yeah, red GIFs can literally get you views like just by posting on there. So like what we sort of do is like we'll have like a few accounts on red GIF for all our accounts on Reddit, and we just spam post on red GIFs, and sometimes those accounts get like 100k views a day, and then obviously that just brings extra traffic to the OF page, so it does help a lot. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the video. Obviously, as for actually scaling, the main part of it is just more and more accounts. I think a lot of people, obviously, to get to 100k a month, in my opinion, you do need to have a good model. Like, not every model can get to 100k. Some are limited, in my opinion. But the main, process of this is it's just more accounts, more accounts, more accounts. You know, it really is that simple, in my opinion. A lot of people do overthink it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be doing a lot more videos now. I'm not uploading like a month, but I'm gonna start posting like 2 or 3 times a week at least. But yeah, make sure you guys join my group. It'll be in the description. I got a free Telegram. Yeah, see you guys there.